Hey guys, welcome back. Dylan here with Waller K9. Today I'm working with Charlie. We're doing a little e-collar conditioning. Right now, he's just going to feel two things. He's going to feel vibrate. He's going to feel tone. He doesn't have any stimulation. I mean, he doesn't get shocked or feel any stimulation on his neck for anything. He's just going to hear the tone and he's going to feel the vibration. So when I want Charlie to get closer to me for any reason, whether that's to come when called or to walk with me and he's venturing out along the way, what he's going to hear is a tone. To shut that tone off, he comes to me, and then I release the button and I tell him, good boy. You came all that way, good boy. Alright, so we'll wander around just a little bit more. He flips away from me, you hear the tone, and the tone's going to stay on until he comes all the way back, good boy. And then he's going to get a little praise as a reward, and just to comfort him and say, hey, that's exactly what I wanted, thank you so much. When he's here, I didn't do it that time, but if I wanted him to sit down or lay down, I'm going to press the vibrate button, which is the middle black one, for now at least, and tell him what I want him to do. I'm going to say, lay down, and I'm going to guide him. Lay down, lay down, lay down. All the way down. Yes. I helped him out a little bit with some physical manipulation. As soon as he hit the deck, I turn the vibrate off, and then I'll give him his release. Okay. Good boy. He probably didn't want to go down because the concrete's a little bit wet this morning, but that's okay. So we're conditioning the dog. I don't want him to feel afraid of this. So come. Here's the tone. Yes, good boy. Sometimes he'll scratch, and he's going to try to scratch the pressure off or scratch the collar off of his neck, because it is a form of pressure, and if he can scratch it away, then that's probably the easiest thing to do. He won't get very far with that technique though. Again, we're not using any pressure on him right now. I will use some pressure on him for jumping on people, for trying to run out of an open door without hearing his release. He will feel the vibrate. If I ask him to sit and he gets back up before I release him, I'll put him under vibrate, and if he walks through the vibrate, I might use a little bit of pressure with it. I'm going to go through this with you guys when I drop or you guys pick Charlie up from his training, but right now it's just conditioning. The last thing I want to do is break a little puppy's spirit or make him hate the collar. Charlie likes to put the collar on. He knows that we're going to go outside and go on a walk when he gets to put the collar on. So when I get the collars out, all the dogs, but him especially, get really excited. And they usually come over to me and do a little circle dance and say, hey, it's time to go on our walk. So this, for me, you can use it for correcting behaviors, but usually I use it to teach the dog and condition the dog. And they also learn that they get a lot of freedom. But with great freedom comes great responsibility, so it's up to us to teach them how to turn pressure off. That way, if they get themselves in a scenario in which we need to add pressure to deter them from doing something, that they know how to turn that pressure off and that they should have not been doing that particular behavior, whatever that might be. I'm going to do a couple more things. Just create a little distance from Charlie and add tone. As soon as he comes back to me, then I shut the tone off. Create a little distance, Charlie, come. Now when he gets here, he'll sit down, because that's usually what happens when I call him to come and ask him to sit directly afterwards. He's always been good about that ever since we've had him. When he stays right underfoot, and when he gets here and I'm not moving anymore, he usually just goes ahead and sits down, which is a great little thing for a puppy dog to do. Charlie, come, tone on. Tone off. Good boy. Good. Now, as life gets a little bit more distracting, new dogs enter the equation, new people enter the equation. What we're going to do is turn this from just tone to tone for 2 seconds and then stimulation. And like Charlie works well on about a 10 or a 12 out of a 100. Pretty sensitive, so we don't have to use a lot of pressure. He has felt a little bit of pressure before, because when we get out pretty far and we get into neighborhoods, things get pretty distracting. So from time to time, he's seen people, and that was kind of distracting for him just because he likes people. And so we'll have to use a little bit of tone plus some stimulation to get him to come back, so that he doesn't just run up to everybody and think they're his best friend. But besides that, the only thing he's really felt pressure for is running through doorways when he's not supposed to yet, or jumping up on people. So there's someone just off camera. Charlie, come. Yes. He got distracted there. As soon as he heard the tone, he turned around and said, "How do I shut this off?" And he came back to me. And he's just conditioned naturally to sit. I didn't use any vibration whatsoever. But when he does these things, we'll tell him he's a good boy, and then I'll give him his release. Okay? Okay. Good. Okay, he knows he can go do whatever, move about the cabin pressure-free. You see, he still chooses to find me. He's just really good about this, especially on walks and stuff. So, hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again.